This is RHM for RHM Movie Reviews. Now, I'm going to be talking about the remakes. First, the ones that Disney has done, and then the other remakes. First one is The Parent Trap. Original version stars Haley Mills. The remake stars Lindsay Lohan. Both versions do have unbelievable casts. Unfortunately, yes, for both movies, actors from both casts have passed away. The remake, sadly, only one person has passed away, and that was the mom, played by Natasha Richardson. And the storylines are a bit different in the fact that, what the parents do for a living is different. And there is no Reverend Mosby. He is mentioned in this remake, but he is not seen. And there is an actress from the original that appears in the remake. I'm not going to say who it is, but if you watch the original and then you watch the remake, you will. I don't know if you'll notice it right away, but I do suggest you watch the making of the remake. It is unbelievable. It is amazing. Both versions are amazing. Right, and I know the remake probably won't get sequels, but I know the original got at least 2 sequels. I don't know there's more than 2, but the one is a part. If you get this, is a 2 DVD set. It has the original Parent Trap and its sequel, and both versions are good. And there are other Haley Mills Disney movies. The only other one that I know for certain that there has been a remake, it was just the remake was done with all African American cast, I think, for the most part. And that was Pollyanna. I have not seen the remake of that movie, but I hope to see it one day. And of course, with both of these versions, you will find them on Disney Plus. And the same thing goes with 101 Dalmatians. Yes, original is animation. The remake is live action. And if you want I don't know, depends on what kind of edition you have for the anime version. If you have the Platinum edition, which I got, or if you had the newer version on Blu-ray, or I think it's 4K Ultra HD. I don't know what that stands for, honestly. But actually, this was the first time a Disney anime movie it was a live action remake. There have been others, but I know a lot of people think, oh no, Alice in Wonderland was the first. No, 101 Dalmatians was the first one to be taken into live action, and cast is amazing. It is based on a book by the author Dodie Smith. I don't know if she did more than one book for 101 Dalmatians, but if you watch, I don't know if this is with the newer version of 101 Dalmatians, the anime version, but you can do the pop-up facts. And with the pop-up facts, you find out, well, in the book, Cruella de Vil is an African-American woman, or African-British woman. Where in the anime version, the live-action version, she is a white woman. The only time I think Disney has actually done Cruella de Vil as a black person is with Descendants, and that's it. I mean, if they want to once again, redo it. Redo 101 Dalmatians again, but this time as a black woman as the villain, as Cruella de Vil. That will be interesting because I know there is supposed to be a movie coming out called Cruella de Vil that stars Emma Stone, and of course, a lot of people know Emma Stone is white. But if they decide to redo these, actually just redo 101 Dalmatians again, I do suggest try an all black cast this time to see how it goes. And that's just my suggestion. Because everybody's talking about equality for all races, and that would go a long way to helping people. Alright, next up is Alice in Wonderland. And yes, this is actually the first time Tim Burton actually directed a remake of a Disney animated classic. He did one other, but he also did one of his own that was a short, but Alice in Wonderland was the first one. It is based on a book by Lewis Carroll, who, from what I've been told, when he wrote the book, or the book series is what it is that he was on drugs when he was writing these books, which does not necessarily surprise me because that's sometimes you wonder if the person who wrote the book was on drugs when they wrote it, especially in the older books. But I know for most of those authors they weren't. They were with C.S. Lewis. I talked about his book series, The Chronicles of Narnia, before. He was not. He was a born again Christian, and that's, as I said, it depends on how you want to see that movie series. I mean, it's up to you. I see it as a normal. I think most. I'm trying to think of religions. Catholics, Christians, and Lutherans will see biblical inspirations in the books and possibly also in the movies, because the movies are based on the books. So that's that. And for the remake of Alice in Wonderland, it was an amazing cast. Johnny Depp did a great job. It's sad he didn't get into. I only received the MTV Movie Award nomination for it. I know Helena Bonham Carter did for Best Villain, and she did an amazing job at playing the Queen of Hearts. But that, as I said, everybody in the cast is amazing. The villains are good. The heroes are even better. And it was actually, I forgot to check on the trivia for it. But I think this was the actress who plays Alice in this. I think it was her first, it was her feature film, her American feature film debut. I'm not sure if she's watching this. Please tell me if this was your feature film debut, American feature film debut. Because I know for a lot of British actors, they get more well known to American audiences because of the big movies that they do, like the remakes that if they end up being a Disney remake, that's how they get known. And of course, I should actually also say the CGI, the computer animation in this. CGI, the computer animation and the other visual effects are amazing in this movie. Yeah. Next one is Frankenweenie. Now this is actually this version is a remake of a Tim Burton classic. Yes, he remade one of his own movies. It was a live action short. It was an original idea. by him when he was still at the Disney company. Now, I'm surprised that he was willing to come. I'm not surprised that he's the one who wanted to actually direct, and this time, direct and produce this version of Frankenweenie. This is stop motion animation, in case you're wondering. You can find the original Frankenweenie on Disney Plus, or if you get Nightmare Before Christmas on DVD, is in the special features. And that original one it's about, I would say, almost an hour long, maybe a half an hour long. But both are great. Amazing casts for both. I forget who was in the original. I don't remember all the actors, but I know for this one, you have Martin Short. I was going to say great Martin Short, but I don't have that many movies of his. But I know he is hilarious in everything he does. This is no exception. He plays a more serious character. Next one, yes. There is Dumbo. Tim Burton directed this one, and with his, and it's a great cast for this movie. And the original was the shortest Disney animated movie you'll ever find. It was, if you watch, I think it's supposed to be, it talks about the fact that the movie was originally slated to be on the cover of Time magazine in 1941, but it was overshadowed. It was replaced by Pearl Harbor because of what happened at Pearl Harbor. I know there are a ton of Easter eggs in the remake to the original. For example, the train, the 41 on the head of the engine of that train that they're on, the circus train, it says 41. That is an Easter egg to basically the fact that it was the year that the original movie came out. I think, actually, as far as I'm concerned, the biggest Easter egg of all from the original in the remake is the feather. Now, if you've seen the original, you know it's a crow's feather that supposedly helps Dumbo fly, but it's the fact that he doesn't really need a feather to fly. It helps him to fly, but there's no reason for him to actually have it. And that is something that is mentioned in both the original and the remake. Now the next one, I'm so happy. Both versions have great casts, and this is the Jungle Book. The original cast, yes, I'm happy to say, had I do mean young Clint Howard as the voice of one of the baby elephant, the small elephant in the movie. And in the original, the voice of Mowgli was actually the director's son, if you can believe that. But you watch the making of it, you find out, well, he had also done the voice of Christopher Robin in the Christopher Robin movies. I've never seen the Christopher Robin movies personally. I mean, I would like to. I'll probably, if they get all of them on Disney Plus, I probably will watch them because I've never seen any of them personally. When they did the remake, they did do a couple of things. Excuse me. First was to change the song "I Want to Be Like You" they changed it to what is an ancestor to most great apes, but mainly the gorilla, I think. And I'm not sure even if I can pronounce this correctly. Gigantopithecus. I don't know if there are any historians out there, but or anthropologists. Please tell me I said it correctly. But of course, the original was the last anime movie Walt Disney himself oversaw. Uh, the remake also, another thing for the remake, they actually had a woman voice Ka. And from what I can understand, it was part of the original trivia for the remake of the Jungle Book, is Ka has always been a guy up until the remake, because it's, as I said, always been a guy. Even in the book, the Jungle Book, the actual book, the Jungle Book, Ka is supposed to be male. But when the remake came, they made it a female snake instead of a male snake. Because I guess they're supposed to get longer and they're more intense. I'm not sure why, but I'm happy that they made the Ka. I'm sort of happy, I'm sort of not happy about the fact that they made Ka a woman. But I found that very interesting. Next one, and sort of second to the last one, there is one more, but I'll get to it when I get to it. Next one is Pete's Dragon. Great and unbelievable cast for both versions. The fact that the original was actually the last movie for Helen Reddy, because after that, her and the boy who played I'm sorry, the kid who played Pete, Sean Marshall, him and Helen Reddy gave up acting after that. It's like, no more movies. He wanted, from what I can figure, is he wanted to be a normal boy. He wanted to have a normal childhood, normal teen years. I assume that's what would have happened with Shirley Temple. There's probably a reason she gave up acting after she was a child star. She wanted a normal life. And both versions do, it's sort of the same storyline, but a little different. But it's the main thing is it's an orphaned boy who has a friend who's a dragon. Now, when I watched the remake, and you'll notice every time somebody with a pure heart touches Elliot, he shimmers. It's like he's gaining his magic back. The magic is the fact that he can disappear. He can be invisible to everybody. And to me, that is something, and it's a power I wish I had sometimes. Sometimes it feels like I do have that power. The last one, and it's sort of, I didn't write anything for it down, but Lady and the Tramp, there is a remake of it on Disney Plus, and that is the only place you'll find it right now, unless the Disney decides that, well, we want to put it out on Blu-ray and DVD. That I will wait for, because I know I loved both casts for the original and the remake. For the original, I do suggest you watch the making of it. You find out that the actress who voices Lady is so much older than the actor who voiced Tramp. Or else everybody else is about her age, not his age, or somewhere in between. That is something I found very interesting. And with the remake, you got 2 unknown actors to play Lay's owners. I still find this interesting, and it is a bit of trivia if you watch Walt the Man Behind the Myth, that in the beginning of the movie you see Jim Deere give Darling, I think those are the characters' names, puppy in a hat box. And that is something that Walt Disney himself did to his own wife. He gave his wife Lily a little. I do suggest you watch Walt the Man Behind the Myth, because it says it was a little child puppy he gave to her in a hat box. I think that is so sweet. They actually show a picture of it. It's like, oh my god, that is so. I thought it was, oh, that's so cute. A little child puppy. And that's it. Next one's going to be movies that aren't Disney. But when I talk about Annie, the first one's by Disney. The second one isn't. And this is RHM for RHM Movie Reviews, signing off.